All right, this is how it would go. Okay, are you ready for this? Where is paint? I keep typing MS Paint. My school was overcrowded. So, this is what it was. I'm gonna tell you the layout of the school and where all the kids hung out. Okay. We're gonna call my school Red Neck High. I wonder what the population of my school was. Let me tell you, PE consisted of square dancing, Zumba for the ladies, and what else? Oh, we'd walk around this loop. Didn't even run, you would just walk. This was the lunch area, right? Lunch ladies. Lunch ladies. Why were they there? Because y'all, they are behind the counter. They were like the CIA agents of food. Then this was the line to go in. These were basically stairs, right? Stairs. So you go down, you get your lunch. I was a bring home from my place of living. What's it called? Home. I would bring it because I was vegetarian back then. You had 2 long tables. These reserves teaches and teachy people, like admin. People that would sit here, those were the know-it-alls. Kia. We'll give Kia know-it-all. They know it all. They sucked it up to the teachers. They were really like blah blah blah. So you're saying you brought my paquet all the way? Yeah, I would bring the same things. PBJ, or sometimes I'd keep it spicy and do a peanut butter and banana. And yeah, it was awesome. And I also had a Capri Sun sometimes, or a Kool-Aid jammer. Love that. Mind you, I was 16 years old. Then you had your, these are all round tables, but we're gonna do like this. You had your big nerds. Big nerds. I'm talking like mathlete people. We didn't have math. We had this called Quiz Bowl. It wasn't called mathletes, it was like Quiz Bowl. All right, so they be there. Then you would have your athletes. Not talking about popular people, I'm talking about athletes. We had like one of the best soccer teams. I have no idea. They were not popular, but they were dope at soccer. Super dope at soccer. I don't know why we didn't talk about this. Oh, and a wrestling. They would hang out with each other because they weren't exactly popular, but they were really athletic. Like they know they're gonna go to college, whatever. So yeah, they'd be there. Then you had, on this side, you had a partition. It had a little gap. It was a half wall. You know what I'm saying? Like in Rust, you have the half walls and stuff. You had a half wall. So here, you would have kind of the cool kids. Cool. And then you would have, for some reason, you would have the very, like, goth. You had the goth babies. Why were they right next to each other? I never know. I never knew why they were there. Why? You think the cool kids want to be kind of close to the athletic people because there was a lot of athletic people that would go back and forth. They'd be like, hey, Brian, just so you know, coach made his meeting at 4 p.m. This wasn't a small walk. This was a big walk. You could not scream across to tell the other people like, hey, our biggest room wasn't our gym. It wasn't anything. It wasn't the foyer or whatever you call it. It wasn't even the little area where you go to, like, I don't know, chill out. It was the daggum cafeteria. Huge. The biggest cafeteria I've ever seen, ever. Like, I don't understand why I was there. Anyway, goth people were there. They were kind of cool though. There were some goth people that were actually really cool. Then over here, you had The shy guys. Shy guys were kind of with the gothy people. They would kind of intermingle, sort of. Kind of intermingle, whatever. And then the shy guys would sometimes also intermingle. There was like an awning where the stairs were. Then you'd have the meth users. Like legit, like I'm not classifying them. I'm not stereotyping them. Like they were in the paper for dealing meth, having meth, blah blah blah. Anyway, and then you had the stoners. They were cool. They were too cool. They were so cool that their table was the smallest of any of them. They had an exclusive table. And then you had another table here. We're gonna call them grungies, because back in my day, in the 2010-ish, 2009-ish, you had a grunge phase. There was a big grunge phase in our area. Is that what happens? Is anybody like kind of like in the high school area, like 18 to 22 year old? Did y'all have like a grunge phase? Probably not. You probably did not have that. So, where did I sit when I was 16 to 18? Well, I would go here. Are you confused? Are you confused? Are you asking yourself, well, Stephanie, that's not in the lunchroom. That's not in the lunchroom. No, because it was in the band room. It was in the band room. I'd always have lunch with the band room. I'd bring my cool kid friends. I would bring my goth friends. I'd bring my grungies. I'd bring my stoners. And we would, all the coolest ones would segregate and go into the band room, because guess who had the band room key? I'm bringing them all, baby. I'm mixing it up. I would never invite I would invite Kira. She was really cool. She was in band. She was very shy. She was awesome. Oh, and some of the nerds too. They were pretty cool. I would never. These little babies here. Oh, and some of the athletes would come by. These guys? No. Never. Do you know why? Because I was the type, before I was cool enough to get the key to the band room, meaning I was the biggest nerd of band, this is what I would do. Okay? I would ask each area. I didn't really ask the meth people. They really scared me. But I think I sat with them once. I used to go, because I'm so extroverted, I would go to each table and be like, hey, can I have lunch with you guys? And I would learn about people. I also don't like Kias. That probably is why. But anyway, yeah. I would go around each table and be like, hey, can I sit with you? Hey, you having lunch with somebody? And I'd find it open and I'd sit there. And usually, this was mostly the interaction I would have. This is what had happened. Okay, this is me. This is me as like a young whippersnapper. Hi guys, can I have lunch with you? And then what would happen? Sometimes this would happen with the stoners.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, that's fine.
And then I'd hang out with them. Then I'd go to the meth heads and they'd be like, well, like whatever. I'd be like, okay, I'm scared. And then I would go to the shy guys and they were so shy they would never say no. They'd just be like, and they let me sit with them. Athletes in wrestling had lots to talk about, because guess what? Your girl, as much as she was a nerd, she was also an athlete. Okay? I did stuff. I actually did athlete stuff. Okay? Nerds, totally got along with them because all my friends were nerds. They were great. I would go to the goth people, got along with goth people, because guess what? Your girl likes some punk and goth music. I say goth, they were actually more punk, I guess. Anyway, I used to go to punk shows. I had friends that were in bands and stuff. They were really cool. The cool kids kind of put up with me. Do you know why? Because I was friends with all their friends. I was one of the like, I was always like that. Oh, I know a girl that knows blah, blah, blah. I know a girl, because I was always the person that knew people. Because guess what? I talked to everybody in high school, and that's the way to do it. Thank you for the coffee. Then I would try to talk to all these people, you know? The nerds were like, yeah, you can sit with us. You're cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. Y'all are my friends. Goth people, they're my friends, you know? That's everybody's mutual friend. I had a lot of acquaintances. I had a lot of friends. I even sat with the teachers a few times. Anyway, so when I go to the Kia people, this bunch right here, you know what they did? Do you know what they did? I was like, hey y'all, I'm just chilling today. Can I sit with you guys? You know what they told me? They're like, no, we don't know you. I was like, oh, my name is PastaroniRavioli. No, I was like, my name is Stephanie. They'd just look at me. I'd be like, is that a yes? And they'd be like, no, you can't sit with us. Yeah. I wasn't cool enough for the suck-ups. They didn't like me. So you know what I did? This is the same day. This was like the span of like years. I'd hang out with the grungies for a few months. I'd hang out with the stoners a few months. I'd hang out with the shy guys. They didn't last long because they were kind of, I think I freaked them out. Somebody told me I was the most intimidating person they'd ever met. And you know what? I was also told this week I was the most intimidating, happiest person they've ever seen. No, they said intimidating, cheerful person or something. I was like, okay. So I know I come off strong sometimes, you know? Anyway, then athletes, they're always like, yeah, bro. Yeah. Made really good friends with them. It was a very much an advantage to me to be friends with the athletics. Do you know why? Because I was short and I couldn't reach stuff. And I always knew somebody to reach stuff for. The what? The nerds. They all became friends. Yeah. Yeah, somebody said I'm intimidating. Look at me. Nothing intimidating. Sounds accurate. How dare you? So, what I did when I was in high school, I was so good at not going to class that I used to bribe the teachers with Chick-fil-A. I'd be like, hey, me and so-and-so are gonna go to college and study. We wouldn't go study. Most of the time I'd leave class early and go work. I was that kind of kid. I liked to make money when I was a kid. Now, probably, I really don't care. But yeah. What I did one time, people found out that I was the person to ask people for help. I was the one. You've gotten a DUI in the middle. You were stupid and drove drunk and you've been arrested overnight. You needed bail, but you didn't want to call your parents. I would help you out. I'd be livid and cuss you out and stuff and be like, you. But I would help you. Help people on their homework because I was kind of smart. I'd help people with music because I was kind of good with that. I'd always knew people that had stuff. I always knew people that had stuff. I always knew the best places to go in terms of clubs and bands. And then I'd always use this stuff to get with the cool kids. Be like, hey, help me out here. I'm trying to do this. Anyway, so you know what happened? This one girl named, she came up to me and said, hey, I heard you're the person to go to for help. I had band with her. I can't give too many details, but I knew her for a very long time. And she always kept like making fun of me behind my back, calling me fake and stuff. Really pissed me off. You know what I told her the day of graduation? She said, hey, I want to go to this party, this post-graduation party. You know what I told her? I said, well. Sure. And I got her an invite. Because I'm just like that.